Hello and welcome back to our YouTube channel. So, today we will be starting with chapter 8 Cell the Unit of Life. So, what we will be doing is that we will be reading NCRT line by line, word by word, and understanding the meaning of everything. So, let us start. When you look around, you see both living and non living things. You must have wondered and asked yourself, what is it that makes an organism living, or what is it that an inanimate thing does not have, which a living thing has? The answer to this is the presence of the basic unit of life, cell, in all living organisms. So, cell is present in all the living organisms. All organisms are composed of cells. Some are composed of single cell and are called unicellular organisms, while others, like we human beings, are composed of many cells and are known as multicellular organisms. So, now, what is a cell? Unicellular organisms are capable of independent existence and performing the essential functions of life. So, a single cell can do both these functions. Anything less than a complete structure of a cell does not ensure independent living. Hence, cell is the fundamental, structural, and functional unit of all living organisms. So, a question is asked that why is cell the fundamental, structural, and functional unit of all living organisms? And these 2 points are to be stated. Anton von Leeuwenhoek first saw and described a live cell. Robert Brown discovered nucleus. The invention of microscope and its improvement leading to electron microscope revealed all structural details of the cell. So the first live cell was seen by Anton von Leeuwenhoek, and after that discovery Robert Brown discovered the nucleus, so here later needs to be emphasized upon. Then 8.2 Cell Theory. In 1838, Matthias Schlitten, a German botanist, examined a large number of plants and observed that all plants are composed of different kinds of cells which form the tissues of the plant. So, Schlitten was a botanist who discovered about plants, and he said that all plants are composed of different kinds of cells which form the tissue. And around same time, Theodore Schwann 1839, a British zoologist studied different types of animal cells and reported that cells had a thin outer layer which is known as the plasma membrane. So, a question commonly asked is that Schwann was a British zoologist, whereas Schlitten was a German botanist. He also concluded, based on his studies on plant tissues, that the presence of cell wall is a unique character of the plant cells. On the basis of this, Schwann proposed the hypothesis that the bodies of animals and plants are composed of cells and products of cells. So, who hypothesized this was Schwann. Then Schlitten and Schwann together formulated the cell theory. This theory did not explain as to how new cells were formed. So they just gave the cell theory. But Rudolf Virchow 1855 first explained that cells divided and new cells are formed from pre-existing cells, which is omnicellula e cellula. So, this hypothesis was given by Rudolf Virchow, whereas the cell theory was given by Schlitten and Schwann. So, these are two important points. So, Rudolf modified the hypothesis of Schlitten and Schwann to give cell theory a final shape. Cell theory, as understood today, is all living organisms are composed of cells and products of cells, and all cells arise from pre existing cells. So, the second point in the cell theory was added by Rudolf Virchow in the year 1855. So, what we collect from here is that Schleiden was the German botanist. He studied about plants, and Schwann was the British zoologist who studied about the plasma membrane, and they together formulated the cell theory. Rudolf Virchow gave the concept of cells arising from pre existing cells. First live cell was seen by Anton von Leeuwenhoek, whereas the nucleus was studied by. Comment down below. Now, in the next part, we will be discussing the overview of a cell, and we will also start about prokaryotic cells. In the meantime, revise this portion and keep studying. Thank you.